welcome back to HSN for the doubleheader this afternoon between the Lambton Lions and the Humber Hawks. This is game 2 here at beautiful Connervale Park, as it is 20 after 3 as we're going to get set to get this underway with you very, very shortly. And what did you like from last game, Brendan?
Points of note are Nebeki doubled the amount of bases stolen. While I enjoyed a little bit of the showboating play, I mean, it was unnecessary. It's not very competitive. I'm looking forward to a tight game today. In the second game, if I was to characterize what I think is going to happen, I actually think Humber will come out looking at Lambton as a serious opponent and give it their all, and I think they might get bowled over a little bit.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They were very good last game, and that might have caught Humber a little bit off guard. But the Hawks will be tossing Anthony Goddard today. He is a first-year Etobicoke native, and he will be set to play Lambton Lions here this afternoon.
And I think that goes to show my earlier idea that they're confident that they're going to win this game, because they're putting a first year in just to see what the first year can do, you know?
Yeah, I mean, anytime they can get that repetition in and face batters is always good. But with Lambton, I think, yeah, they are definitely going to be putting the pressure on Humber here for game 2, as the game before was quite close.
While Huff played a great game and deserves to be Athlete of the Week, he is not statistically Humber's best pitcher. And I think that the Humber coach is really showing that he's trying out his other pitchers, seeing what they can do, making sure they work that arm, making sure they get time in the field to prove that perhaps they should be first string.
Yeah, he's going to prove what he's got here right now, as Joey Stock will be the leadoff batter, as that one will come in for ball number 1. As he's going to find the strike zone there, he's going to even it up 1-1. And it's going to be important for Goddard to make sure that he is attacking that strike zone, as Lambton, they're not the strongest hitting team, but they still can put the bat on the baseball and do some damage. Wisely lay off that one, as he's going to jump ahead. 2 balls, 1 strike. As that one is going to be driven into the gap in right center field, as that is just going to get down as Sutherland scoops it up very nicely, keeping the ball in front of him. That will be a leadoff single there for Joey Stock to start this baseball game off. Good effort there by Liam Sutherland to do everything he can to keep his body in front of the baseball, and only holding Joey Stock to a single. And Goddard in there with the strike, jumping ahead 0-1. Goddard with the pitch, and that'll be down and away for ball number 1. As he's going to be going, there's the toss to second. He spikes it into the ground and it goes off the pitcher's mound. A little bit of an unlucky break there for Humber. But thankfully, the ball didn't get too far out of hand, and they were only able to keep him there to second with the 1 stolen base.
Bad break.
Yeah, a little bit of a bad break. The catcher needs to pick that ball up a little bit for those throws down to second base. But thankfully, the ball did stay in the infield. and he wasn't able to get an extra base out of it. Brown swung on through the hole on the left side. Bannon gets that ball in very quickly, as it is now runners in the corners for Lambton with only no outs.
And that was Martin in the infield. It looked like he was going to make the move to try and catch that, but he kind of lost confidence that he could make it there.
Yeah, just that's why they call it the hot corner over there at third base. Those balls come at you mighty quickly, and he did everything he could to try to glove that baseball. Double play is in effect. That's what Humber's going to be looking for. And the steal, they're going to throw down to second. What a pick out of the dirt, and nice tag applied, as that will be out number 1 here for Humber, as they are able to gun down the base stealer.
And that's Bath as catcher, and he's redeeming himself after that little bit of a kerfuffle on that first pick on second.
Yeah, able to pick himself up after that little bit of a spike that hit the pitcher's mound, as it's now 1 out here for Humber, and no more double play is available. And that will be fouled back to the backstop, and will even up the count at 1-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. He jumps ahead in the count. The 1-2 is cut on and fouled out of play. Goddard doing a real good job so far, pounding that strike zone and forcing these Lambton hitters to swing the bat. As he will get the strikeout, and the complete out will be taken at first base, as that will be out number 2. And that is the first strikeout for Goddard on the afternoon. His eyes there as the wind starts to pick up a little bit here at Connervale Park, as Jake Taylor will be taking his first at bat of the afternoon. As that'll be up and away for ball number 1.
Stock sitting patiently still on base number 3.
That'll be swung on and popped high in the air, as the third baseman is over, and he will make play in foul territory to end the inning. And that'll be it for Lambton in the top of 1, as the score is 0-0.
Lambton there getting very close to scoring at the very beginning of the game, which would have been an unfortunate event for Humber.
That would definitely have been the start that Lambton was looking for. But, as you said, Humber was able to do the job, and they were able to get out of it. And in the low-scoring affair in Game 1, Humber is going to look to get on the sticks a little bit more here in Game 2, as they only were able to muster 3 runs in the game prior. And that is Jake Taylor, who will be taking the bump here for Lambton Lions, as he is going to do what he can to keep these potent Humber Hawks bats off of the score sheet. Jake Taylor will be facing Narabecki, LaBelle, and Sutherland as the 1-2-3 hitters for the Humber Hawks. And Narabecki will be looking to get Humber off to a hot start here in Game 2, as they are looking to get on the board nice and early.
Taylor known to scoff with 10 strikeouts this season. With only 5 games being played, that's an impressive number.
Yeah, he's certainly showing what he is capable of out there on the mound, as he is going to be in tough against these strong Humber Hawks. And he's going to take the first pitch for ball 1. Gonna get by on the outside for ball number 2. As he's gonna put one in there for strike 1. And it's gonna be important for Taylor to get ahead of these Humber hitters, as that one's gonna be ripped down the first base line and foul just past the glove of the first baseman, Hogg. And that's going to be ripped down the opposite side. Foul out of play. Narabecki seems to be on him so far. Let's see if he's able to put one in between the white lines, as he's going to take a close pitch there for a ball. Count is full here. Leadoff hitter at bottom of inning number 1. As that is going to be poked out and will able to get down just behind the third baseman out in left field. And Narabecki is going to try to leg out a double, and he will get there sliding in safely. Excellent hustle there by Narabecki to notice how far away those defenders were from that ball and stretching that single out into a double. As he's wiping off that dirty white uniform out there, as that is the start that these Humber Hawks bats are looking for here in Game 2. Sam LaBelle in the first game was quite aggressive on first pitches. This time showing a little bit different strategy, showing a little bit of patience, as he's going to take that one for strike 2. He's found himself in a hole here, 0-2. Narabecki with a big lead at second, and they're going to do the quick step off just to look him back, keeping him honest. Narabecki doing a good job of trying to get into the pitcher's head so far, as LaBelle's going to shoot one out there. It's looking foul, and it will get down into foul territory. LaBelle, no slouch. He's going to fight against everything. He's going to do what he can to get that ball into play and move Narabecki over, as they're going to try another look back to second, as Narabecki will scamper back safely. As the delivery from Taylor is in the dirt That'll be ball one. LaBelle doing a really good job of fighting that one off and keeping himself alive.
Should be noted that LaBelle is actually a first year, even though he's one of the highest strikers in the league.
Yeah, he has certainly been hot to start this baseball season off, and that is exactly what Humber has looked for from the youngster in the 2-hole, as that one is going to go way foul down the right field line.
Hot to start the season, Matt, and hot to start his career.
Yeah, you are exactly correct, and hopefully he will be able to continue his momentum through to the finish this season off. As that one is going to be scorched into center, as the center fielder will scamper over and make the play, no problem, as Narabecki will make his way back to second. It's a good drive there by Sam LaBelle, just wasn't able to find enough of the gap to get that ball down. As we have Liam Sutherland, one of the veterans on this Humber Hawk squad, an important piece of this offense. As Narabecki is going to try to steal third, the throw a little bit off, and it's going to go into shallow left field. Narabecki not sure exactly if he wants to make it home or not, but they will decide to stay at third base.
The indecision cost him because he arguably could have stolen home, but better safe than sorry, especially when you're on your triple check of, oh, can I make it?
Yes, exactly. I think if he turn and burn as soon as he saw that ball get by the third baseman, he had a real good shot of making it, but a wise call holding him there on first and try not to run into too many outs. As Sutherland is going to foul that one back into the trees. As the umpire has run out of baseballs, he needs to stock that ball bag up a little bit.
A lot of the balls were irretrievable from the first game. A lot of them fired off into the woods.
Yeah, lots of balls ending up back behind our heads into the woods here, but that one was able to get in there for a ball. Good job by Liam Sutherland of holding off on that one. As the catcher seems to have a little bit of a equipment malfunction. It's one of his laces in his glove has come undone. As we give everybody just a teeny little break here, as the equipment manager does their thing. And that's Pepper getting his glove re-tied up.
Sutherland will be at bat today for the 38th time this season. 7 runs, 14 hits, 1 double, 2 triples, no home runs yet. 6 RBIs, 2 walks, and 2 stolen bases.
Yeah, Sutherland is an important piece of these Humber Hawks, and hopefully he will get them on the board early and first here in game number 2.
All you need is a single.
Yeah, put the ball in play is all you're going to need. As there is 1 out, here's the 2-1 pitch. As that one is going to be fouled out of play. Count is even at 2-2. Good fight here by Liam Sutherland. Not giving away anything. He's going to make the pitcher work for everything here. He's going to fight that one off as he keeps himself alive. 2-2. Sutherland showing he's capable of battling as he's going to rip that one right past the shortstop as it's going to go into center field, as that's going to score the first one of this afternoon's ball game. 1-0 Humber as Narabecki is going to cross the dish. Sutherland with another one of his RBIs. He's going to add to his season total. As Dave Banning is going to try to keep this train rolling here in the bottom of the first inning, as he's going to take that one in the dirt for ball 1. Dave Banning, one of the best hitters for Humber last season, leading the team in RBIs, as that one is going to be grounded to shortstop. Easy flip to second for the out, but unable to get the force at first. And it'll be 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Dave Banning showing off that speed. It's not easy to turn 2 against him running down the line at first. As this will be Bisser. Taylor going to try to pick off attempt there for Dave Banning. No dice, as he slides back in safely. As Dave Banning takes off going for second, the transfer was not smooth enough for the catcher. No throw down to second, as Dave Banning will take that one standing up.
And that'll be his 3rd steal of the season.
Yeah, like we said, Dave Banning showing off that speed a little bit, running down first and now taking second base. Be interesting to see if he decides to go for the steal of 3.
Well, he's got 3 doubles and 2 triples to his name, so he's shown he's got the speed. I'm sure he's thinking about it.
Yeah, and from personal experience, I know that stealing third base is the easier of the two, even though a lot of people would say otherwise. Second base, you're able to get that good view of the pitch right down into the glove of the catcher. You can see if it's going to be in the dirt, and you're also able to get a little bit bigger of a lead, as the second baseman and the shortstop have to come a long way to cover you. As Bisser is going to take that strike as the count moves to 2-1. Laying off that one as he draws the walk, as we now have 2 runners on here for Cam Wilcox. He did not see any playing time in game 1, so he will get the start here in game 2.
Wilcox also breaking into top 49 players on the hitting roster of the OCAA. Wilcox has been to bat 21 times. He's knocked down 2 runs. He has 4 hits, 2 RBIs, 1 walk. Well, I guess 2 walks now.
Yeah, it's going to be a big spot up here to see if Humber can extend their lead. As he's going to take that high one for a ball. Taylor in there for strike 1. And he's doing what he can to make sure these Humber runners are staying in check. He's trying to keep them honest. Not trying to give away too many free bases. As he's going to look Dave Banning back to the base. Here's the pitch. It's Cam Wilcox is going to put that on the ground to the shortstop. Stock is going to go over to first, and that's going to get by the first baseman, as Dave Banning is going to come across to score. And Wilcox will end up on second, as Visser will end up on third. Humber will take a 2-0 lead here, as it will be Bath due up here, and he is going to be looking to score. 2 men on second and third. Good start here offensively for the Humber Hawks, as so far they've been able to muster 2 runs here in the bottom of the first inning off of Jake Taylor. And they are going to look to keep the pedal to the metal and the pressure on Taylor. Taylor having a little bit of a hard time getting ahead of these Humber hitters. He's going to fall behind 2-0 to Bath. Here's the pitch. And he's going to take that one for ball 3 as he's way ahead, 3-0. Sitting comfortable with that nice hitter's count. And he's going to take ball 4. That will load the bases for the big hitter, Ty Martin.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but that's the second time that we've seen him walk someone without even getting a strike.
Yeah, he's got to do a better job of finding that strike zone. Can't be allowing these Humber offense free bases, especially with how dangerous they can be. And it seems like Coach Jeff Gibbs is trying to even out the lineup a little bit, putting Martin a little bit lower in the order. Trying to help that bottom of the order turn the lineup over to these strong leadoff hitters that the Hawks possess. As they're having quite the in-depth discussion there on the mound.
Well, Taylor does feel the pressure of runners breathing down the back of his neck with the bases loaded, so they just want to make sure they can secure that out.
Feeling nice, warm, moist breath from all sides as the bases are juiced. And Martin is going to look to scoring as many as he can here, as that ball's going to go through the wickets of the catcher. And Visser is going to stroll in easy as all the runners move up 90 feet. And again, the catcher, Pepper, having a hard time blocking those balls in the dirt, keeping them in front of him. And Humber has been taking advantage of all these passed balls. Taylor still having a hard time finding that strike zone. As that is going to be a hit batter, he's going to take his leisurely walk down to first. Martin seems okay with that one, as it's going to be Leaf Purcell to take his first swings of game number 2. He replaced Gonzalez early in game 1, as Gonzalez was having a little bit of trouble out in the field, making a couple of errors. As Leaf is going to take that one inside for ball 1. Not even close there for ball 2. I think Jake Taylor just needs to take 1 or 2 extra breaths on the mound, get his feet underneath him. And he does there. He's able to find the zone for strike 1.
I think you're completely right, Matt. I feel like he might be in his head a little bit. You just got to slow down, slow the pace of the game down, and do what you're there to do. Yeah,
you're exactly right. He definitely looks to be in his own head, as that one is going to get skied into the infield. First baseman is going to call for it, and he will make the play for out number 3. As Humber strikes first, scoring 3 runs here in the first inning, as Humber takes the lead 3-0. . And after the last game, here are the updated standings. Nothing much has really changed. Humber still holding their own spot there at second, as Lambton still sadly down in the basement, still looking for their first win. And even though Humber was out to an early 3-0 lead here, you definitely can't count out these Lambton hitters. They have shown that they are able to touch up the Humber pitcher and put some runs on the board.
And there are our stats once again. Humber with the win, sitting 8-2. Let's see Seneca lose some games so we can get that #1 spot. Fortunately, Lambton sitting at the bottom there, 0-5. But hey, they're a strong team. They're new in the league, and they're finding their space, and they're finding their experience.
And I mean, for what it's worth, they still have one of the least runs allowed this season for all the different teams. So they've been doing a good job keeping runners off the base and off the scoreboard.
Taylor himself as a pitcher has only allowed 5 runs over those 4 games.
Yeah,
unfortunately 3 more after that, but
yeah, he'll be looking to clean up his performance there after the bottom of the first inning. But these Lambton hitters are going to try to pick up their pitcher, as it will be Lambton due up in this top of the second. Goddard with a pitch in the dirt. That will be ball 1. Is that one in the dirt for ball 2? Goddard, after a successful first inning, has got to work to bring that ball up into the strike zone.
He also has to take a deep breath.
I think he took your advice there, Brennan, as that one is in there for strike number 1. And as a pitcher up there, you're the one who's in control of everything. And you can take as much time as you want up there, as that one is going to get through the legs of the catcher. He's fallen behind 3-1 here to the leadoff hitter, Pepper, as he definitely does not want to lose him, as he's going to swing and drive that one on the ground, but foul down the first base side. Goddard doing a good job of working all the way back to a full count. Here's the 3-2. That's going to be driven into the air in right field. Second baseman is in to make the catch, as the ball definitely got eaten by the wind there and knocked it right down. Kept the ball in the infield, and an easy play there for Leif Bruciel.
Yeah, it's real unfortunate for the batter as the wind is facing directly towards them.
Yeah, the wind is very heavily blowing right into the face of these hitters. So anything that is going to be in the air is going to be a real good chance for these defensive players to get under and make the play. The 1-0 is fouled back, as the count will move to 1-1. And he will get him swinging, as that will be strikeout number 2 for Andrew Goddard, as that is going to be 2 outs here for Lambton in the top of the second inning. And that was a really good pitch there by Goddard, really changing the eye level with that breaking ball and just catching him out there on his front foot. He's going to burn that one in there for a strike as he jumps ahead 0-1. And after the performance of Stephen Huff in Game 1, Goddard will be looking to jump ahead of these Lambton hitters here in Game 2. Swung on and missed for strike 2. And even this one batter here, you can just tell the extra confidence that the pitcher gets when he jumps ahead of the batter. As that one is going to be rung up for strike 3. He is going to get Nolan looking for out number 3. As a very good job there by Goddard to go 1, 2, 3 in the top of the third. That's definitely the game plan that Humber is going to look to take advantage of as they are ahead 3-0. They want to get back on these bats, and good job by Goddard to get them quickly back into the dugout. And I believe we are going to see a pitching change here after only 2 innings. As that will be it for Taylor, as Joey Stock will take over for him.
I mean, I don't blame the coach on that one. He was walking a lot of them without even challenging them with strikes.
Yeah, Taylor was not really being able to find that strike zone, so probably a wise call by the Lambton manager to go with Joey Stock, who did pitch the last 2 innings of the game before, so for what it's worth, he's probably the warmest pitcher that they have in the bullpen. And he was able to be pretty effective against these Humber hitters, so he's going to try to keep that going as Humber will start at the top of the order once again with Narabecki, Lobel, and Sutherland.
Even if Stock is their best chance, which I do believe you're right that he is, that he's the warmest, you gotta wonder, he played 4 or 5 innings last game?
Yeah, he played the whole game, but clearly the manager has lots of faith in his young pitcher to throw up zeros for his ball club. And as these guys are a new ball club here in the conference, they might not have as deep of a roster as some of these other squads. And so that might be showing here.
Leading out for the Hawks, the right fielder, number 22, Stephen Narabecki.
And hopefully Humber will repeat what they did in the bottom of the first inning against Joey Stock. As more runs on the board means more insurance and more room to make errors, even though they're definitely not looking to make errors. Narabecki's going to try to lay down the bunt as he bunts straight through that ball for strike 1.
And Narabecki's got that speed to get it done, so a bunt would have been a smart move.
Yeah, and that brings the third baseman onto the grass here. So he's going to swing away right past the pitcher up the gut, as he will lead these Humber Hawks off to a single here at the bottom of the second. And this is where Humber wants to be, with the leadoff man aboard, as the heart of the order will be due up here, as Sam LaBelle will put that on the ground at the third base. They're going to try to turn two, and they will be able to turn two, as Sam LaBelle was unable to beat that throw from the second.
With Nara Becky being arguably the fastest, if not one of the fastest runners that Humber has, that's a serious blow to this inning.
Yeah, definitely not what they wanted there after the leadoff single, but Lambton will catch a break there as they turn two, as it will be Liam Sutherland with 2 outs. Swing and a rip through the hole on the left side, as that will get down in front of the left fielder, as that will be Sutherland with his single. And Humber, even though it was just turned two against, able to answer with another single, as it will be DeBanning. As that's Sutherland taking off for second. The ball gets down just in front of the second baseman. He does a good job of keeping it in front of him, as that will be a stolen base for number 27. That puts himself into scoring position here for DeBanning, as he will be looking to drive that ball into the outfield, and he'll be looking to score Sutherland.
Additionally, that is Sutherland's 4th steal this season.
DeBanning with a rip, and that's going to get through the same hole on the left side. Sutherland is going to be running hard around third, and he will score standing up, as DeBanning will take the free base and strut to second. Well done by DeBanning to find that hole on the left side, as he will pick up his his second RBI, of the afternoon. As Bisser is going to try to keep this rally going here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. As he will take that one for strike one. Thought about swinging, but thought better not. Sadly, he will fall behind 0-1. As he's going to take that one off the hip, and he will take his free base as he walks down to first.
Thankfully, it doesn't look like he's limping.
Yeah, he caught that with a lot of meat there. That's definitely one of the spots that you want to get hit by a pitch, if you ever want to get hit by a pitch.
I don't, but for those who do.
He will take the free base, as now we have Cam Wilcox. That one is going to get by the catcher, as both Humber runners are going to move up 90 feet, and they are now in scoring position for Wilcox.
DeBanning's 5th steal of the season.
So he's going to take a swing and foul that straight back into the fence. As he falls behind, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cam Wilcox does a really good job when he has to buckle down, when he has 2 strikes against him. So he's going to wisely lay off that one. Way up and away. As we get a nice gust of wind through Connervale Park, kicking up some dust. And here's the 2-2 pitch, as Wilcox will foul that straight back and keep himself alive. As Cam Wilcox will take ball 4, and he will load up the bases for Humber, as it will be Bath due up with the bases loaded. And they're going to have a little bit of a meeting of the minds on the mound, as with the bases loaded, Lambton is in a little bit of a pickle.
Yeah. I'm not even quite sure who they'd call on to swap if such an option were to be discussed.
Well, they do have someone tossing down there in the bullpen, but they do not seem to want to bring them in quite yet, as they're going to try to ride Joey Stock to at least get out of this inning. Humber, though, with 2 outs to their name. Any play is a good play. There's a forced play on. Time to buckle down and focus on the batter if you're Lambton. Bath will jump ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. So he sees himself in a hitter's count here with the bases loaded. So he's going to take that one for strike number 1. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. He was definitely looking to find a gap with that swing. As he's going to make contact with that one, but pop it straight up to the first baseman. He will make the play, and that will be it for Humber in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. They were able to add 1 more to their score and make it 4-0 here for Humber at Connervale Park this beautiful Sunday afternoon.
And Lambton just has to keep their spirits up, keep morale high. They have that pitcher warming up.
Yeah, and they certainly are not out of this ball game by any means. We have barely made it through 2 innings here, as it is the top of 3. And, you know, being down 4 runs can be quite daunting, but as you said, if you keep your morale high, there's a good chance that they will be able to bring this back and make this a competitive ball game.
The psychological mindset of being so close last game and having never won a game, I could see with a team of first years how they might begin to lose momentum or motivation. However, as you said, they're not out of it. 4-0 is not a breakaway. We're not close to a mercy ruling yet.
No, not at all. And Lambton has done what they can to get runners on base, but the Humber defense has done quite a good job of being able to turn 2 when they can and getting out of jams when they find themselves in them. As we are going to get number 18, excuse me.
16?
16, yes, my apologies. Sheeler will be due up here at the top of this inning. He is going to be the man they call upon to lead off for Lambton. And the 2-0 is swung on and missed for strike one.
It really feels like Goddard's found his footing out there on the mound.
Yeah, he's starting to look a little bit more comfortable. He's certainly attacking these hitters, as that is going to be driven into center field as DeBanning is over in front of Sutherland to make that catch for out number one. And again, that wind playing a factor in holding those balls up in the air in the outfield, allowing DeBanning to run and get underneath it to make the play.
Next up, Steves.
That's going to be swung on and drilled fairly down the third base line. DeBanning is running over, try to cut that ball off, but it's going to roll all the way to the wall as Steves is going to try to leg out a triple, and he will get there standing up. As Steves starts to get Lambton going with that lead-off triple.
And if you're in the dugout, that's got to feel great. It's got to feel like you're ready to hit some more.
Yeah, if anything is going to give Lambton that little kick in the pants that they need to get things going, this is certainly going to be it. As it's going to be the top of the order with Joey Stock. That is going to be foul down the first base side and into the trees. Goddard finding himself comfortably ahead, 0-2. As that'll be swung on, and he keeps himself alive with that foul ball. Still behind in the count, 0-2.
That was above his shoulders. That was a little high.
Yeah, I mean, you do what you can to protect, that's for sure. He thought that was going to be a good one, and I guess he just couldn't hold off. So that one's in the dirt, but not far enough away from the catcher to warrant a throw or even running down that third base line for home. Here's the 1-2. A little bit of a breaking ball, and that will get him looking for out number 2. And that will be strikeout number 3 for Goddard. As Joey Stock not happy with himself, smacking his bat against his helmet as he wanted that one back. As next up, it will be Riley Brown. And he'll look at strike one. Goddard doing a really good job of getting ahead of these Lambton hitters so far early here in this ball game. As that one is going to be swung on and fouled back into the trees. So that one's long gone. that is going to be drilled right towards Liam Sutherland in center field, as he will bring that one down for out number 3. And even with the triple, Lambton was unable to put anything on the board, as Humber leads 4-0.
Lambton keeps getting so close in both games. They keep getting so close to scoring, and they just can't get that guy off third.
Yeah, they've been just shy of that one hit they need to get themselves on the board here in game number 2, as we are going to see our third pitcher here for Lambton, as it will be number 7, Dan McGonigal.
You never want to see 3 pitchers in 3 innings.
Yeah, definitely not when you want to keep your team as deep as possible. And if you're using as many arms as you can just to get through 2 games, that's not necessarily what you want to see. As so far for Humber, in both games, we've only seen 3 pitchers for them. But Dan will be looking to throw up a wall in front of Humber, as Humber does have this 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And as this is the 3rd pitcher for Lambton, it's important for Humber to make sure they see what he's got, and they make sure that they're not swinging at anything they shouldn't be swinging at. And if they just keep their nice, patient game plan that they've been having so far, this should equal a successful strategy. As it will be 8, 9, and 1 due up for Humber in the bottom half of this inning.
Third baseman number 26, Ty Martin.
And Martin is going to be looking to keep Humber going on this roll that they've been on, scoring in both the 1st and 2nd inning.
Martin hasn't had a bad day by any means, but I wouldn't say he's done anything extraordinary in comparison to the record that we see him on with.
Yeah, for Martin being one of Humber's top hitters, he definitely has been quiet so far this afternoon. As the first pitch from McGonigal will be in for ball number 1. So he's going to take a swing at that, and it's going to just drop in over top of the shortstop's shoulder, as Martin will do exactly that and lead off his team here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Humber doing a very good job of getting that leadoff man aboard in each one of their innings, and in each one so far they've been able to get that runner across. Take a swing and foul that one down the first base side. Leaf is going to find himself behind early 0-1. Pitch in the dirt, as they're going to concede that runner going to second, as they're not even going to bother trying to throw down. Pepper doing a pretty good job of keeping that ball in front of him as to not allow Martin, to move up any extra bases. As the count moves to 2-1, here's the pitch. As that'll be high for ball 3. He's going to peel off the plate for that one as he is going to take his free pass down to first base. As we now move to the top of the order here for the Hawks, as it will be number 22, Steven Narabecki.
And I've been enjoying him all day. He's fast, he can hit, and he's got that eye for when to go and when to stay.
Yeah, he's certainly a top caliber baseball player indeed, as he is going to be looking for another RBI, as he's going to look to score Martin from second. As he is going to rip that one, as it's going to be deep out there in right field, as now the right fielder is going to start moving in as it gets down in front of them in fair territory, as that will be a double for number 3, Leif Berciel. And you could tell there that wind absolutely knocked that ball down. The right fielder thought that that ball was going to go up over his head, but in fact it dropped in front of him.
Once again, that's playing with experience. Who can say how many of these guys have played outside in extreme wind before?
As LaBelle is going to take that one up and away for ball number 1, as he comes to the plate with bases loaded and no outs. He's going to swing and put that one on the ground, and it's going to get through the hole in the left side. Leif Berciel is going to try to round third, and he's coming home, and he will be gunned out at the plate, as that will be out number 1 here against Humber.
Good call by the umpire. That was close, but he was out.
Yeah, close play there at the plate. They were able to get one, but one run was able to get across as Humber now extends their lead to 5. And a little bit of aggression there by the third base coach trying to get Berciel to score, and doesn't pay off, as Liam Sutherland will ground that to the third baseman, and he will be called safe, as they both 22s had a little foot race to the bag there and was unable to make it there in time, as Narabecki will stand up safely. And once again, here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, it's bases loaded for Humber. This time with 1 out, a double play ball is available here for Lambton if they're going to try to get out of this inning. Banning putting a good swing on that one, as that's deep into left field. Left fielder running and unable to make the play in foul territory, as DeBanning put a pretty good stroke on that one, but just went wide foul. He's going to be looking to put that ball in between the white lines this time, as he has 2 runners in scoring position, and he wants to expand Humber's lead.
If that wasn't for strong winds, that very may possibly have been a grand slam.
Yeah, that definitely had a good shot at going out, but because of the high winds that we have here at the ballpark today, that one just blew foul. As he tries to fool him there with the soft stuff, as that'll be in for ball number 1. Manning had to duck out of the way of that one. So he's going to hold off there for ball number 2. And a good job there by the Lambton catcher to make sure he keeps that ball in front of him and doesn't let Narabecki score from third. As that'll be ball 4, as they're going to walk home a run, as that is the easiest RBI DeBanning has ever had all season. As it will now be Hunter Bisser's turn to see what he can do with the bases juiced. Looking like it's starting to get a little out of hand here, as McGonigal is struggling to find that strike zone consistently. As Bisser's gonna put a good smack on that one, but it will end up in the trees, foul. As he's going to put a nice swing on that one, as that is hit to the right fielder, and he will not be able to make the play as that drops right in front of him once again. As that will bring Narabecki across. Sorry, I mean LaBelle across to add to Humber's now 7-0 lead. As now one more Humber hitter gets their chance to see what they can do with bases loaded. And one out, as it will be Martin. Ty Martin, a third-year Acton native. Big hitter here for Humber as he puts that one into the air in short right field. And that one will get down in between the right fielder and the second baseman as he tries to throw that home to stop Liam Sutherland from scoring, but he will get across no problem. As another single will continue this little roll that Humber's got going on here in the bottom of the third inning.
Nothing else to say here, Matt, but Lambton's got to feel a little discouraged right now.
Yeah, I think it would be probably wise for the right fielder to maybe pull in a little bit, as that wind has caused those balls to drop in front of him not once, not twice, but 3 times. As that will be driven up the gut, and that will look to score at least one more run as DeBanning comes across to make the lead now 8-0. 9-0, excuse me. Well done there by Bath, putting that ball right back up from where it came from. As he adds an RBI to his name for the season. As Martin's going to put the ball on the ground to the second baseman. A little bit of a fumble there, as they are not going to be able to get one out as everybody is safe. And one more run comes across for Humber in the bottom half of this inning. As they have gone through 9 hitters now here in this inning, as Ty Martin was the leadoff hitter. As Bruce Ciel fouls that one off for strike 1. Second baseman Bruce Ciel falling behind 0-2 here. As that one will get by the catcher, as Wilcox will stroll on home without any throw. As the seams are starting to come apart here for Lambton, as Humber continues to extend their lead.
I would say we're beyond the seams coming apart, and that they have come apart, and that runs are coming through.
Yeah, hopefully they will be able to figure something out. and recording out here as Humber still has only one down. As that is going to be a line drive right to the first baseman as the Humber runners scamper back to their base, as that will be 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And with the top of the order, Stephen Narabecki to take his second at-bat of the inning. He will be looking to extend this lead even further with 2 runners in scoring position.
And it's Narabecki. He's been doing amazing all day. I'd be afraid if I was the pitcher.
Definitely a good job there by McGonigal to go right after Narabecki here, as he is going to scorch that one out into left field, as that gets down and past the left fielder and might go all the way to the fence. Narabecki is going to try to leg out a triple, and it looks as though he will get there standing up, as he will add 2 more RBI to his name as Martin and Brielle come across for Humber. And Humber has continued to put the pressure on McGonigal. As it can definitely feel like a little bit of a snowball effect with how potent this Humber Hawks lineup can be. As that one is hit into shallow right. He's underneath it, and he will make the catch this time, as that will be it for Humber in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. They add quite a few as they've extended their 5-0 lead now to 13-0. And Goddard has got to feel mighty comfortable up there, taking that hill one more time with the amount of runs that Humber has put on the board.
He can let 8, 9 runs come in, and it still doesn't make a difference.
Well, I wouldn't say it
doesn't make a difference. That's a wrong way to put it. My apologies. More as if there's still a lot of room, even after allowing 8 or 9 runs to score, to feel comfortable in your lead.
Yeah, he definitely has a nice soft blanket and pillow up there on the mound, as he does have quite the cushion there, as he will be working here in the top of the 4th inning. As it is going to be 3, 4, and 5 due up here for Lambton at the top of the 4th inning, as Miller will be set to be leadoff. He will take ball 1, as that is up at the eye level. As that's going to be popped straight back, and looks like it will get out of play over top of the Humber bleachers. As Goddard moves the count even to 1-1. Swing and miss at that, change up for strike 2, as Goddard finds himself ahead in the count. He'll be looking to throw him a chair here with this one, as that's going to get by the catcher. Will they be able to get the out? At first, they will not be able to. They're not even going to risk throwing it away, as a strikeout will end up with a runner on first base. As it will be Jake Brudum. And he's going to rip that into center field, as that is an easy play there by the center fielder. As he's going to jump ahead with a strike there to start off Hedger. As the 0-1 is going to get fouled straight back as the count moves to 0-2. Goddard absolutely doing a fantastic job of pounding that strike zone, as he will ring him up for strikeout number 4, as that will bring Humber to 2 outs here in this inning with 1 runner on. As it will be Michael Cotton to take a couple of swings here as Goddard steps off, as he might have gotten a little bit of dust in the eye. As the first one will be in there for a strike. And with how windy it is being out here today, Goddard is doing a phenomenal job of keeping that ball low in the strike zone and keeping that ball on the ground.
Excellent point, Matt.
As that one is slapped on the ground to the third base side, foul. Two outs here and a runner on, as it is a 13-0 ball game for Humber, as Goddard works ahead in this 0-2 count. And he's going to ring him up on that low fastball for strikeout number 5 to his name today, as that'll do it here for Lambton, the top of the 4th inning, as it will be still 13-0, as Lambton was unable to get anything on the board.
Goddard seeing a nice little boost to his stats in this game.
Yeah, Goddard doing a really good job, but you can't fault the Lambton hitters because they've been doing a good job of getting at least somebody on base.
Absolutely, and in the last game, I mean, against Huff, a more experienced pitcher on the roster for on the list for top 49 pitchers in the league. He's number 16 or somewhere around there, I believe. Just Goddard really showing why, even as a first year, he deserves to be a starting pitcher.
Yeah, he's certainly proving what he is capable of, as he has to hang in tough with some of the very, very good pitching that the Humber Hawks possess. But on the other side of the ball, it will be McGonigal taking the bump once again for the Lions. certainly picking up here for the start of this bottom of the 4th inning. As papers and TVs are flying across the desks here at HSN. As these big gusts of wind are flying through here. So he's going to take that one for strike number 1. Nash taking that one for ball number 1 as he evens the count up at 1-1. As that one goes up into shallow center. Who's got it? The center fielder is going to call for it and make the play, as that is out number 1.
Left fielder number 16, Dennis.
As it will be Dennis DeBanning, as he skies that one into right field. Right fielder going back, and he will make the play out there with the over-the-shoulder grab. And with how sketchy he's looked out there in right, that was a good play to get his feet underneath him a little bit and give himself that little bit of confidence that he needs out there in right field, as he has let a few drop in front of him so far this afternoon.
Perhaps he's finally gotten a feel for the wind and an understanding of positioning.
Exactly. As this will be Cam Hanfield, as he takes a big swing and a miss for strike 1. As he's going to hit a fly ball into shallow left field, as that's going to get in front of the left fielder for his first single of the afternoon. As Humber continuing their solid afternoon at the bats, as one more Humber hitter has found himself with a single. It's now Cam Wilcox, and he'll put that on the ground to shortstop, as Stock will be able to knock that down and flip over to second for the out, as that'll do it here for Humber in the bottom of the 4th. Nothing happening for them there, as the score stands 13-0.
And it might not feel as good as a run, but Lambton has to feel good that there's been a complete cutoff of the bleeding in that inning.
Yeah, exactly. They're throwing that door up, and it was shut nice and tight there that inning. And that's definitely what Lambton is looking to do there when they're out in the field and need to play defense. As we are going to get a pitching change, as now it's Ian Swartz to take the bump for Humber, as he will take over for Andrew Goddard, as he held Lambton to no runs so far here this afternoon.
Swartz also being a first year.
Yeah, another first-year player, a Mississauga native. He's definitely looking to drink in all of that good knowledge that these veteran players on this Humber Hawks team have to offer. And he will show off what he's got here to end this ball game off.
The coach must be thinking, let's try out the other pitcher. We've clearly seen what Goddard can do. I can't imagine Goddard is tired. It wasn't like he was throwing a lot of balls, wasn't making a lot of stupid plays. It's got to be a move to see what can this other first year do. What do I have on my bench?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a great point. Jeff Gibbs has got to see what else he's got on the bench when it comes to arms. They can't just rely on Huff and Narabecki and Pollard to get everything done. for Humber this year. So I think with where they are sitting here in this game today, it's probably a good call to go to the young rookie to see what he's got.
It does show that Humber has deep pockets with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitchers on the bench.
Yeah, and that's always valuable to have that many arms on the bench, because no matter what, you will always have somebody who knows how to pitch on that bump.
Some of them can hit too.
You are not wrong there, as Humber has shown that they can hit, putting 13 runs on the board in the second of this doubleheader. As it will be Billy Bourne, number 25, to lead off Lambton this half inning. In there for a strike, as that evens the count up at 1-1. He's going to jump ahead there with that strike. 1-2. Bourne has got to shorten up. He's time to protect here, as he is going to get rung up on that strike 3 looking. That'll be out number 1 and strikeout number 1 for Ian Swartz. And I've definitely noticed that when these Lambton hitters get down in the count, they've been patient with 2 strikes against them. They haven't really done what they can to protect the zone and keep them battling. But Ian Swartz will take it as he hops ahead of the batter, 0-1.
That's a great observation, Matt, and I think that really does come along with this lack of motivation that we've been seeing, this drop in morale, which I can't blame. Full team of first years, right? And this is not a pleasurable difference in score.
No, and Humber is no slouch either. It's a very tall task getting over the Goliath that is Humber Hawks baseball, as Garrett Miller will do what he can to get Lambton on the board.
I will say that as this program develops for Lambton, I think we will see them become a very competitive force to be reckoned with.
And another strikeout there by Swartz, as that's 2 in the inning. 2 up, 2 down here in top of inning number 5. So far, Ian Swartz showing that he can compete with the likes of Stephen Huff and Narabecki and Godard. As that one's in there for a strike. Way up and out of the zone for ball 1. That evens the count at 1-1. And that's going to be driven. Will it get out of play?
Ooh, he caught it.
He catches it, but sadly he makes that catch completely out of play, and that will go down as a foul ball. Good effort there by the first baseman to run that one down, but sadly, just out of play. And that is strike number 3, out number 3, and I believe that will do it for this afternoon's second contest, as Humber, will mercy Lambton 13-0. A very good effort there by Andrew Godard as a starting pitcher, and Ian Swartz able to come in and get 3 strikeouts in the only 3 batters that he faced to finish this game off.
And Lambton's got a lot of talent on that bench. I'm looking forward to what they develop into over the years. This is just the growing pains of when you start a team. Everyone goes through this.
Yeah, exactly. And, you don't have that little bit of veteran presence that, might help those young rookies that are coming up just get their feet underneath them. But Lambton, still did quite a good job in the first game as they held Humber to only 3 runs, and it was a 1-run ball game. And Brendan, if there is anybody that sticks out in your mind between both of these games this afternoon, who do you got?
Oh, it's definitely got to be Rebecki. He with the running, with the steals, with the batting in general, he's my favorite player of the game today.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. That will be it for us here at Connervale Park in this Sunday afternoon. That was the Humber Hawks versus the Lambton Lions. 13-0 was your final score here. That will be it for myself, Matt Caldwell, and my broadcast partner, Brendan Nichols. That is everything from Connervale Park.